Come back at 6, wake me and your child. And then won't lay today, make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think.
What up, y'all? It's Kass. This is our second episode of Kickin' with Kass. Tonight we're here with...
Big Weezle. It's Weezle on the video. Yes, sir. What's up?
Man, how you been, Weez?
I've been working. I've been chilling, you know?
Yeah?
Just kind of...
Let me get my drink.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is Strictly Celsius. Don't worry about what's in my cup. Lil Wayne voice.
Mine's Red Bull.
Right.
Just Red Bull, I swear.
My fault. She showed up with a 4-pack of Red Bull, but I didn't know it was going to be sugar-free, so cheers to you.
Right. I got you. And he didn't even drink it.
Orange Celsius.
Right. He really did not touch it, y'all, at all. Not one trip.
I know. Bad friend, y'all. Bad friend. For sure.
And we won't get into it. No, I want to say all that. But nah, man, we've worked together on a couple of things.
I know. This is, first of all, this is dope.
Thank
see
you.
in motion, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah,
sure.
you know what? Weez has told me for a long time, like, get your podcast started. Like, you've been telling me for like 3 years.
I'm saying, when I see the talent, I just...
Oh, okay.
You know,
Period.
that's what I do. Yeah, nah,
Right.
I'm proud to see you, you know, like... You're creating a little situation for yourself, and I love that.
Thank you. I really
For sure.
appreciate that.
For sure.
You have a podcast of your own. I don't know if it's a podcast or like it's
yeah.
on Twitch, right?
It's a live stream, yeah. So me, Nove, Ricky, my bro Mez, and then Manny, who you met when we did Pray Parlay.
Mm-hmm.
He's producing the whole thing. It's called The Group Chat, and so it's like just a variety stream show where any crazy idea we get, we just find a way to live stream it. And so the first one we did was Pop the Balloon, but we did a rapper edition.
Yeah.
That was cool. The clips went cool. And then we did just recently Broke Meal Challenge.
Right. That one was funny.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So how did that work? Did you give them like a budget and they had to go get the ingredients?
Yeah. So originally it was supposed to be 10, but we did 20 cash.
Okay.
We live streamed, go in a shop, got the fries, came back, and then we had 30 minutes to cook, and you had to switch the cook. On each team, there was 3 people. You had to switch the cook each 5 minutes. So it got a little rough, you know, like friendships were tested, but
right.
Cool.
I don't know. It looked like they were messing that food up. They were grubbing.
I kept it simple. I went back to my roots. I took a little hood meal out, you know, Spam, mac and cheese, instant mashed potatoes. You can't go wrong. So, I was Chef RG in there.
Hey, I like it. So being somebody who, who's done podcasts, you have a lot of experience, videography with like all that stuff. What do you think of the first episode?
I thought it was cool. I felt like, honestly, like you're kind of like a natural with the energy. You feel me? Like that's why I said you needed to do it. I thought it was a great idea to have like 2 homegirls in here.
Yes.
Because like that's something that we're trying to do with the group chat, especially with the boys that like indirectly it's like a training for all of us to be comfortable on camera.
Yeah.
The more personalities you have on camera, the more like comfortable you are without even realizing it.
Right.
So like I feel like that was a good move.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out to Jay Alexa and Anka, my girls.
I want to be invited to the Shrek birthday party.
Yes, that was amazing, wasn't it? She's so dope for that.
Yeah, I'll be invited.
Right. So, I know you haven't been much in the club scene lately because, you're married, tied down, We love that. We love a loyal king. Yes.
Shout out to my
wife. Shout out to your wife. We love her. Love her. When she was here, we should have brought her.
I know.
Slacking.
I tell her she got to start popping out when I do things.
Right. I know she likes to stay inside, though. So, good for her. She's a housewife,
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the situations I get myself into is too much for her.
Right. Yeah. Understandable. But back in the day, when you used to be, in the clubs a lot, showing your face. Yeah. What's one of the craziest things you've seen? Like, girl or guy, doesn't matter, DJ, promoter. Like, what's one of the wildest things where you're like, man, that's crazy?
Honestly, like, I done seen it all from so many different points of views. Because, like, obviously we were in the clubs, and then I did a lot of shooting when I first started doing videography and everything. I was doing a lot of shooting in the clubs. Yeah. And I had a... I'll tell you this one. I pissed off Rick Ross one time.
Oh, no.
Like, I got Rick Ross really mad.
How you pissed off Rick Ross?
Honestly, it wasn't even my fault. So like I'm in there, I'm shooting with my guy Maddie at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm doing some shots for his podcast.
Right.
And then part of the gig was like I got to go into Dre's. I had my camera, so I went from like, partying at Dre's in Vegas to now I'm back at the table with Ross and the whole MMG thing. And so I'm like on an elevated platform. I got a big zoom lens on my camera. I'm just getting my shots. But I remember his manager telling me like, hey, when he comes in, like don't put the camera in his face. And I worked with enough celebrities that like I know not to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just chilling there. I got my camera. I point the camera up. But here comes this random dude when Rick Ross starts walking in.
Oh,
the dude comes through. Clap, 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 flashing and everything. Ross looks up and the only thing he sees is me with the sniper scope on my camera. And he starts cursing me out. I'm like, bro, it wasn't me.
He said, get him the fuck out.
Yeah, basically. I'm like, my bad.
Right, he said, my bad, boss, my bad.
Yeah. But it's funny because he had that meme that, like, when he was like, if I was a cameraman, I'd be everywhere. Bullshit. You got really mad at me.
You said stop the cab.
That was funny though, like indirect. So I didn't really make him mad, but he thought it was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, crazy ratchet stories too. Probably one too many to
I
remember.
haven't had no crazy like situations like any celebrities. I mean, I'm not as
No,
I don't got VIP access like you,
Stop
but I would say like one of the craziest things I've seen like going out one time, like this was years ago, like when I was like 21, I want to say. I was out in Scottsdale. You know how Scottsdale be, Old Town.
Yes.
If y'all been to Old Town, y'all know how it gets down to Old Town.
One too many nights.
Right. So we're out. And I don't really know what happened because this girl, I really don't know her. She's just, out in her section, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm chilling with my friends. And this girl just starts scrapping the security. And I mean scrapping, like full on socking him, kicking, like, and she's getting away with it too. Like you think like, girl would just hit, one time and then they're going to shut it down. Right. No, she was getting her licks in. Like a couple, like 6 dudes had to carry her out. And I said, yo, what is this girl on?
Everybody has like a witnessing a fight story and then a part of a fight story.
Right.
Like, there was one time we were in undisclosed city.
Right.
An undisclosed amount of us. Okay.
You said details can't really know.
But it just turned into like, I think maybe we did a little too much for the locals.
Right.
Which I understand.
Yeah.
And it just turned into this whole like Royal Rumble situation and we made it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
So glory to God for that.
Glory to God. Amen.
I was like, okay, yeah, it's time to retire because I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, you said I need to stay inside.
Right. We came home. We had like ibuprofen, ice packs.
Oh no.
Did too much. We did too much.
Dang. So did your wife like help take care of you when you're coming down from these things? Bring you back to life?
She always does. But it was like, well, y'all was doing too much.
Right.
So, like,
she said, did you learn your lesson?
right. Basically. So, yeah.
Right. So how is it being married?
It's crazy. I just celebrated 7 years.
7 years? Happy anniversary.
7 years of marriage. It's wild. I was telling her, I'm like, it don't even seem like it's been that long. Like,
it hasn't. Like, I mean, I've known you for like, what, like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, something like that. So.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Like, how do you guys do it? How do you help these people, help this generation? How do you maintain a healthy relationship?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I feel like I look for those answers too, you know what I'm saying? So like, I would say, and it's funny because we kind of had this talk when we had dinner and it made me realize, like, I hear this so often, is it's never stop dating your spouse. Right. Because, like, I think a lot of the times we see marriage as, like, the end goal. Like, oh, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's a wrap. Now we just chilling. And sometimes because you're working or you're just, like, ambitious or whatever, you lose sight of, like, this is my partner.
Right.
I still want to make you feel as wanted and valued as, like, the first day when I met you. So, for me, it's like that. Like, I got to remember that. All men. It's hard. And, yeah, I think that's just try to be more intentional with my time with her. Right. But we're like, I mean, we're best friends, so we're always like, we might not get out as much, but like, I mean, we in the gym every night with each other. We're joking with each other all over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I send her memes, because she works early, so, in the middle of the night, I'm sitting there in the bed, I'm laughing, I'm sending her memes. I'll wake her up, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we chill, we kick it. Yeah. That's really my best friend. So.
That's awesome. Do you feel like it's important, or do you think it's a necessity to be best friends with, like, the person you're married to, or?
Yeah, you gotta be, because, like, you really are with this person through thick and thin for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you have to befriend that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably never get to the point where y'all partners at all, like boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse for sure. If you're not friends. So.
Right. Yeah. I think it's important too. I feel like if you're not best friends, like, how are you gonna get through life with
Not for real.
Like, I feel like my man, like, that has to be the first person I can call, like, for anything. Yeah. Like, ups, downs, anything. Like, I want to be able to call him for, like, if I drop my drink and it's spilled on the floor, like, I want to be able to, like, babe, where you at?
Right. You got it. You got to be able to.
Right. But yeah, have you guys been on, like, any, like, vacations together? Like, what's your guys' like, best vacation you guys have had together?
It was my honeymoon.
Oh, yes.
For sure was, like, the best. I wouldn't say the best. We've had some really good vacations, but I think that was, like, it was the craziest one because, obviously, we just got married. We're processing that. Life has just changed for the rest of our lives. And then we went to Dominican Republic, but it was right when Hurricane Maria was rolling through the Caribbean. So we were supposed to be there for a week. We got like 3 days in paradise and then had to evacuate the island.
Dang.
Like, book an emergency flight, evacuate, get out of there because, like, Hurricane Maria just tore up the Caribbean.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a memorable one for sure.
Dang, so that's how you know y'all are locked in. Y'all made it through crazy.
I was on the phone with JetBlue, like, I gotta get my wife off the island. Like, she's
emphasis on
now.
the wife,
Right.
period. You said, look at the ring.
Right. I'm taking my responsibility serious. Get me off this island, JetBlue.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like you deal with, like, making tough decisions? Do you feel like you go to your wife? Like, I'm sure she plays a role in that, but, like, what do you do? Like, when something hard happens in your life and you got to really sit down and, like, put pieces together to figure out, what your next, steps are going to be.
No, I panic. I talk to my wife. I pray.
It's always panic first, right?
I think everybody tries to be so cool about, like, tough decisions. I'm horrible at making tough decisions.
Me too.
Because, like, I don't know what it is. Like, there's consequences, good and bad, of decisions.
Right.
So, like, sometimes I'm just outweighing them too much, and I'm an overthinker. So,
right.
I just feel like, again, that goes back to, like, your partner being, like, your best
right.
Because I know she's gonna always give me sound advice. So if my mom is good with it and my wife is good with it, like, I'm making the decision 1,000%.
Aw, that's so beautiful. That's kind of with me too. Like, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as something happens in my life, I'm gonna either call my dad. That's actually the first person I'm gonna call, my dad. Literally, I call my dad for everything. Like, that's one thing I do cherish. And my mom. My mom's, like, usually right after that. Like, my dad, and I feel like it's just because my dad lives here.
Yeah.
So it's like 9 times out of 10, he can do something about it in that moment. You know what I mean? And then, like, my mom, she lives in California. But, like, I feel like they're kind of two different people. So it's like, I know to go to which one for, like, which thing,
Yeah,
like, my mom, she'll give me, like, that hood advice. Like, girl, get up on your feet, stand up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my dad, he's just more like, he's like traditional parent. You know what I mean? Like, he's real dad. Like,
that's my mom.
Yeah.
So if I call my mom and my mom got 3 stages.
Yeah.
If she's, like, coddling me that means she's caring, something's wrong,
right?
And so I'm feeling like, okay, my mom's being there. The second stage, what she's gonna do is tell me about myself. She's gonna tell me I don't know what I'm doing, and that usually means I'm right, because it just means that she's trying not to, like, have me make a rash decision, but it means I'm right. And then if she completely agrees with me, it's cut for whatever the decision is. Like,
right.
It's cut. If my mom tells me I'm right, I know I'm right.
Period. Mom is always right.
Whoever you are, if you're on the opposite end of a tough decision, like, it's cut for you.
Yeah. That's how I am with my parents too. Like, if my parents say something like that's, I'm like, yeah, okay, so I'm not tripping. Like, okay, I'm right. But yeah, I don't know. My dad, he is, I feel like the older he gets, the more emotional he gets. When I was younger, I swear he was real tough. Not like in a bad way, but he made sure, like, we were set, like, he made sure that we weren't no punks, out in these streets. But my mom, like, she's more lenient, I feel like. And then my dad, he just made, like, he didn't let me shave until I was, like, a sophomore. Hairy legs as a sophomore.
You were the girl in high school with the hairy legs.
Don't do me. And yes, I was. And look at me now. Right. But yeah, no, my dad did not play those games. Like with skirts, I had leggings underneath. Like, you know, like my dad's very, you know, traditional. Like
that's good though.
Yeah.
I feel like that type of structure I think is still a little bit needed in the world. Maybe a little bit more nowadays than
right. I have such a high respect for my parents. Like for example, like neither one of my parents have met like any of my partners, like anything. Like I've never brought like anybody home to dad, mom, nobody. Like I'm keeping that, you know, real special. They're gonna be my husband, you know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my family is kind of like, you know, on the traditional side, I would say. Like we're not like strict or anything. Like we have like game nights, you know, when we can, like you know, stuff like that. We're real family orientated, I would say. You know what I mean?
It makes me jealous. Like I love that because all my family's back in New York.
Aww.
So I don't get to see them unless I like take vacation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like my family's really just like my close friends.
Yeah.
My wife, my sister-in-law, my nephew, things like that. So like that, hearing that, like that's like a jealousy in a good way because that's so important to have that family time.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm like that's one thing I will say like, I always appreciate is like I am so close with my family, like super close, like all my siblings, like sister, all my brothers, like we're locked in. Like we could call each other for anything. It doesn't matter time, you know, the day, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
But yeah, like my dad, he you know, he like made it kind of important like growing up for us to stay close and like, you know, make sure that we stayed in touch and like relied on each other before we went and like outsourced, I guess, to other people. We relied on each other first. But I try
to be like that with the boys. Like, you know, I try to make sure like whatever it is I do, I include them.
Yeah.
Because like they are my only family out here. You know what I'm saying? Past my wife, like I said. And so like I just try to, whether we going out planning a day or vacation or whatever, like I'm just always trying to make sure that they are around me because like I don't get that. Like that.
How do you deal with your family being out of state? Because I just recently like had to go through that. My brother. Well, like I said, like you know, me and my family are really close. Like we've grown up like together every day of our lives. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like last year, my oldest brother moved to Miami, which I'm like super proud of him for doing that because you know he's almost 30, and like you know he didn't really allow himself to experience certain things because I feel like he's always taking care of us and like just making sure we're good. And I feel like he never really wanted to like, you know, do his own thing. Yeah. And so like I am super proud of him for like going out and like, you know, doing something for himself and experiencing that, even though he better come back. He should be coming back very soon.
You go to Miami, he might fall in love with it, you know?
Yeah, and my little brother, he just joined the Army last year. Dang. So that's been emotional for me, you know, my little brother. And then he's going to go overseas. So, like, how do you deal with family being out of, you know, state and, like, away from you? Like, it's been hard for me, you know?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wish there was, like, a really positive way to flip it besides, like, just... I keep the people who are close to me here like super close. But the truth is it's not easy, and it's, you know, I'm at the point now, I've been in Arizona for like 20 years. Yeah. By myself for the most part. Right. And that's 20 years I'll never get back with my family. So I missed out on birthdays and holidays. Yeah. And I think sometimes I just put that into my work and just get so caught up in trying to do things that it keeps me busy. Right. Which is good because then I'm productive, but then it's bad because you kind of grow a little cold-hearted. Yeah. Like I'm so focused, like, I don't want to pick up the phone because then I'm going to be hella sorry and sad. You know what I'm saying? That I ain't talking to you
about.
That's
me. Like, I feel so bad because I feel like they take it as, like, I'm too busy for them. Yeah. But, like, I feel like no one understands. It makes me emotional, like, talking to my brothers and they're not here. Like, I can't just go pull up. Like, I'd be like, bruh.
I feel that. Because that's always usually, like, a little remark, like, oh, I know you've been busy. Blah, blah. Right. It's the complete opposite. It's not that I'm too busy for my family. It's that I'm trying to stay busy because I miss my family.
Right. So I feel that so heavy.
So, like, you know. Right. Sorry. But, like, you know, it gets me a little bit tight in my family. I'm not going to lie because I came out here quick. Got married, we bought the crib, you know, and don't nobody come visit me. Nobody wants to come to Arizona. Like, I get it, like, everybody's in New York, so, like, who wants to leave New York? But, like, come visit me.
They get all seasons out there, too. Like, why would they want to come out here?
I got 3 sides of the family. I have my mother, my dad, and then I have a stepdad. All 3 sides of my family, I love them equally. Yeah. none of them visit me. None of y'all.
Right. But this is your sign. If you're watching this, come visit your boy. Yeah,
make this a clip and collab post me because we're going to send some shots.
Okay, I got you. I'll do that for you. I got you. Just so they can, book that flight. We'll make that happen.
Facts.
But what else do you feel like motivates you, like, to, get your work done? Because you do a lot. You do. I mean, talk about it. What do you do?
So, when I first came here, I was doing music.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for a while, and then with doing the music, I couldn't pay for people to shoot my videos.
Right.
So then that's when I took up videography. It was actually during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I just YouTube University, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Googled how to work a camera, YouTube how to work a camera. I bought my first camera. I started shooting videos. The first video I did was for B Dot. He's like the famous basketball impersonator. He stays right here. And that video, I woke up the next morning, it's on Complex.
Yeah.
Because of B Dot star, you know what I'm saying? But still just to see something that I worked on be on like a big platform, that was kind of crazy as a first video, you know what I'm saying? Or first big video.
Right.
And so that just kind of led, I started doing music videos. I worked with a lot of people out here. It led to the club recaps, and then I got involved in podcasts. And I got to travel all over the country, filming my guys' podcast, and meeting all types of celebrities. And then I was this little, I called it the Work with Weezle, like LA, you know what I'm saying? The Work with Weezle tour was a real thing for 2 months.
Was I a part of it?
LA during
LA,
COVID.
bro, we did do that. That was fun.
Right.
You know what's so funny? Not the only story, because we got some work done. Those, that was dope. But one of the funniest things I remember from that trip, I don't know, you know what I'm going to say? I don't know if I should talk about it.
I'll tell you a funny story from that trip. So it's COVID.
Right.
So we're downstairs. I think we was getting something to eat.
Stop. I think you're going to tell the story I was going to tell.
We downstairs. Yeah, no, it was all of us. So we eating, we get the invite to this club, right? So again, we ain't been out in months because it's COVID. And things are just starting to open up. And so we get dressed up. You couldn't tell us nothing. We get to the club. There's people everywhere. We're on top of I think it was the W on the roof. So we're having this one. We're look at us. The world shut down, but we on the rooftop in LA. You can't tell us nothing.
Right.
And then we start looking around. And we just kind of start reading the room and understand yo, this is a gay nightclub tonight. And nothing wrong with that. Shout out.
Nothing wrong with that. We love all of them.
Yeah, no. But we not gay, so I'm married. What am I doing here? So and then we start looking. Yeah, we wasn't supposed to be there.
Right. Okay, so that's not the story I was going to tell, so I'll tell mine.
Okay.
But I don't know if you remember this. Remember we was, partaking in the devil's lettuce, back in the day when we were young, I mean.
Was I I think I was at my comedy shoot at this point. If I'm thinking of the story you about to tell.
I think so. Maybe you weren't. I think you were at your comedy shoot. And we were downstairs, partaking in the devil's lettuce. And a certain person in the group, we won't say no names, we'll keep it discreet. A certain person in the group, doesn't really smoke too much. And they hit it, coughed.
Okay.
Bust some ass at the same time. And continue to cough and act like that did not happen. You remember that one?
Yo! I was definitely working during that one. Because I would have forget that one.
Yes, that story. Oh my gosh, that is legendary. That was so funny to me. I was weak. Yes, that was one of your friends. That's your boy.
You gonna have to tell me which one of my friends was that.
Yeah, I got you after this.
I got a really good idea. But
I'm sure you could guess.
Yeah, bro.
Right, literally. That's crazy, huh?
Those were the days.
But yeah, no, we had a good time. Yeah, no. We had a good time. We had a really good time during that trip. But yeah, no, I feel like you and I kind of are similar in some way. because like just as you're telling, you know, how you started, like same thing with me, like I give you so much props because you know, I started my first, you know, my podcast, my episode, you know, was just a couple weeks ago, and like I'm doing this all by myself. Like I don't know if y'all know that, but like, you know, I do shout out to Chris. He is in the back, you know, helping me with sound, all that fun stuff. But outside of that, like I am doing this by myself, you guys, like all the editing, like all that. So I text you after my first episode and I was like, dude, like, how do you do this? Like, it took me probably like 14 hours to edit my video like through and just like go from like shot to shot and like match the audio and like, you know, to our lips and just all that. And like, I feel like people don't really understand like how much work goes into this stuff. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think, first off, there's ways to automate that. We'll talk.
Yeah. Thank you. Please help me.
It's I don't know. I love it. Like not a lot of people get a chance at like a second passion, and for me, like media, videography, photography, streaming, podcasting has really become like a second passion. So I've like given it my all, and I've just like I consume a lot of content, but not because I'm like brain rotting, because I'm like always studying, right? Like, bro, I'll be in the shower, I put a YouTube video on, like I have it on the corner of the shower, just because I'm like always. My friend Aaron, shout out Gene, he always makes fun of me. He's like, you don't have a silent moment. I'm like, nah, I don't. But like, I don't want the silent moments because then I overthink. Yeah. So if I'm like somewhat paying attention to something and like studying, looking, hearing, I feel like I'm being like a little bit more productive than I was just like sitting there stressing out about anything. You know what I'm saying? So like, but like, it's a lot of work, but it's like so fulfilling because like, the part that's raw about this is that when you get to episode 50, that you look back on number one. When you get to episode 100 or just 2, 3, 4 years down the road, you're going to look back. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm super proud of you right now because I know what you're getting ready to like carve out for yourself. And it's so dope to see like somebody going after it on their own.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, like, no, this is something that I, like, always wanted to do, but I was really scared to do it just because of, like, failure, you know? Like, I know I am a very confident person, don't get me wrong, like, I am. But, like, I am scared of failure, you know? Like, I was afraid to, like, you know, put this out there and, like, it only gets one view or, like, whatever. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter because even if I made those same, like, 1 to 2 people laugh every 2 weeks, like, that's all I'm doing it for. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just, you know, a way for me to bond with, you know, other creators and people that, you know, I want to work with. You know what I mean? And things like that. So
that's the important part is, like, you're doing it out of passion.
Yeah.
If you was doing it for, like, for clout or for, like, views, like, it's going to be real upsetting real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so, like, the people who are truly passionate about producing content or just podcasting, whatever it is, that's when you withstand that, like, the 1, 2, 3, 4 views, because you understand it's not about, like you're not going to go viral usually right away. Yeah. And virality is something that is a gauge on how well you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's like revenue is a gauge on how well a business is doing. Right. But it doesn't mean you're not in business because you're just trying to sell out for cash. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever your business is, you're passionate about. Yeah. So, like, when the virality happens, are you prepared for it? You know what I'm saying? Is all your socials intact? You got plenty of content now? Because one thing's going to go up, and then it's going to filter down to everything else. Yeah. So the ones that got a couple views, they're going to bump up, too, once you get the first one that hits a bunch. Like, it's how
I'm learning my way through, like, the, you know, stuff. Because, like, I'm really not into it. I know it may look like I'm into social media and stuff like that, but, like, I really just take a picture. You know, obviously, like, I edit my lighting and stuff like that in my pics. You know, edit it, post it. That's it. Like, I'm not into the insights. I'm not into, like, I don't really know any of that stuff. So, like, you know, as I started my show, like, this is something that I'm learning and teaching myself. You know, like you said, like, you got to get on Google, YouTube, and, like, you know, watch all these things. Like, I hit up Chris. He's, you know, social media director. He has so many degrees, and, like, he's so smart. He's probably, like, the smartest friend that I have. Yeah, so I depend on him a lot, you know? So I'll hit him up and be like, hey, like, you know, what do you think about this? Or, like, is this a good marketing move? And, like, you know, things like that. And he, you know, is somebody that, you know, I thank God he's came into my life these past couple months. I do rely on him, you know, a lot. But, yeah, I was, you know, like, outside of that, like, I wouldn't really know what to do. It's not something that
those types of people
you know,
important. You gotta keep those types of people around you. Like, each one teach one, and then, like, your strengths and weaknesses. You know, he's gonna cater to the weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then you might have a skill set that caters to his weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Because the producer is nothing without the talent, and the talent ain't
right.
nothing without the producer. Like, straight up. So
exactly. No, seriously. But we'll kind of do this to wrap up. You know, I want to kind of like end every episode with like some advice that you can give the viewers or people watching. You know, people who may want to start their own podcast or into videography or the things that you may have done. Yeah. What's some advice that you can give our listeners?
Ooh, good question. Mm-hmm. I would say. Give it your all. It sounds so corny, but like really give it your all. Like study it. Try to be as prepared. Like you'll never be fully prepared for nothing.
Yeah.
But like be as prepared as you possibly can be. Don't look at confidence as like it's ignorant. Like if you're prepared, you deserve to feel confident.
Yeah.
And if you're confident, then you're gonna give your best foot forward. Like anytime I try to do something, I try to do it with like this spirit of excellence because I know that's my name, that's my reputation, that's my company's name. And so I feel like I have that reputation now where people know like, okay, if Weez is a part of it, like it's up. It's something that's really high quality. And I'm blessed with that. Because again, I just learned how to do this 4 years ago. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm trying to embrace that. We had that talk a little bit earlier about like embracing when you're great. Exactly. That's okay to say. And I feel like now I'm starting to embrace my great. And I say that humbly because it's a God-given talent.
Right,
it's like I'm truly blessed, again, for having a second passion. Right. But I would say that, like give it everything you got. Try to be as prepared as possible. And take the risk on yourself. Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, it's important to stay humble and be confident. If you know you're talented and you know you're gifted in something, then just go for it. Like, what's the worst thing that happened? Like, you failed and you tried it. Okay, who cares? You know what I mean? Failure is the best. I hate failing. Right. Like, it's the best because now you know for sure now how to do it. Right. Like, I'm not going to do it like that again. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming out tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, but it's a wrap for episode 2 of Kicking It with Kass. Make sure you tune in on YouTube, Kicking It with Kass, and on Instagram, Kicking It with Kass. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.